The story begins with the narration of one of the central characters, Donna Martin, who reminisces about the wondrous times of her childhood, when life was so simple and there was no need to be concerned with the world's sorrows. Donna was raised by her loving mother, Mirtha, in the small community of Possum Trot in the eastern part of Texas. When a young adult, a reverend came to the place to preach Christianity, and according to Donna, he decided to stay back as soon as he saw her. Reverend W.C. Martin's romantic interest in her was very evident, considering the fact that the two married soon afterward and started their own family at Possum Trot. Martin began to preach at the main church, where everyone living in the region gathered on Sundays for Mass, and Donna would also be a part of the proceedings. In their personal lives, the couple had a son named Princeton and a younger daughter, LaDonna, and they were fairly happy as a family. Although a severe lack of oxygen during his birth led to Princeton being an underdeveloped child, the family managed to deal with the Lord's tribulations. Although Donna was content with her station in life, her mother always wanted her to have more children and extend her family as much as possible. Mirtha had, after all, greatly added to the community in both religious and literal senses, as she raised 18 children in her lifetime. But Donna refused to have any more than 2 children, as Martin also did not have the best of financial earnings, being the pastor of the small church. One fateful day, as Donna visited her mother with her sisters and then drove back home, an emergency phone call informed her that Mirtha had passed away, seemingly from heart failure. The woman was naturally devastated, for her mother was the strongest foundation in her life. Even after having found support and true peace through her religious beliefs. Even after a few days following the death, Donna could not concentrate on her life and kept visiting her mother's empty and derelict house. One day, as she sat in front of the house, shedding tears, Donna was startled by the sound of children's laughter in the vicinity. As she went to check what the matter was, she found a few young children playing around in an open area in front of the house, and this scene gave her immense peace. Suddenly realizing that this was a clear and direct message from God, Donna decided that adopting helpless children would be the only way for her to find peace once more. This desire eventually changed the very identity of Possum Trot, as her enthusiasm to help the gifts of God, meaning children, spread through the entire community of the small settlement. Reverend Martin first found out about his wife's wish to bring more kids into the family when she was on a call with one of her sisters, asking her to accompany her to an adoption orientation class. Martin was naturally surprised and also very concerned about this sudden desire, and he immediately suggested that Donna take up some easier hobbies like reading or gardening instead of raising kids all over again. Most importantly, there was the fact that earning money for the family of 4 was already a tough job, and Martin had to make rounds all across the region, hoping for new members to add to the church. He received only a small portion of the church's donations as salary, and so adopting other children and raising them would be a huge task. Nonetheless, Donna asked him to at least support her plan of attending the orientation class, but Martin already seemed to know that his logical questions would not have much effect on her. The determined Donna visits the city with her sister to attend the adoption orientation class, and there she learns about how numerous children in the state of Texas are subjected to extreme struggles in their biological families. Most of these situations stem from poverty, as people who become parents despite struggling to make ends meet often abandon or neglect their young children. In many cases, these situations also lead to other complications involving crimes and violence, and many children often bear the very physical reminders of such assaults that they are subjected to. One of the central figures at this adoption center, a woman named Susan, asks everyone attending the class to try and help out many such children and reminds them of the extreme need for foster parenting and adoption. It is Donna's sister who first agrees to do her part, as she adopts 2 young children from the agency, both of whom had been subjected to difficult lives. When Martin meets these 2 kids, he feels good about how they are going to be helped and their lives will turn around. But he remains a bit skeptical about adopting kids himself. At some point during their discussion, Martin also tells Donna that if she wanted to have more kids of their own, he would still perhaps agree to it. but bringing in the children of others was not an idea he wanted to entertain. However, Donna's repeated requests and her spirited desire to help out children in need convince her husband to change his mind eventually. Martin agrees to adopt once, and the very first kids that they get are a pair of siblings, Tyler and Mercedes. The film had earlier shown how Mercedes, a little girl of 6, had to call the police and ask for her help as her mother was killed by a drug peddler inside their own home. Neither Susan nor the Martin family wanted to split the siblings, since they only had each other as their strongest support system, and so they are now adopted by the Pastor family together. Martin is very loving and caring to the two children, who are also very excited to be in a new home and with parental figures. But when Martin attempts to prepare a hot bath for little Tyler, the boy is terrified of it. Numerous burn marks on his body and his panicked reaction to the bathtub make it clear that Tyler had been subjected to torture, either by his mother or her boyfriend, or in the previous foster home, as he was forced to get into boiling water. This traumatic reaction by the child stirs a change in Martin's thoughts and opinions. This incident becomes his wake-up call, and he finds a vocation in helping more such children. When the Reverend preaches at the church the next time, he talks about his experience and his learning about the need to help these poor children. Martin encourages everyone in the community to come together and adopt as many kids as possible so that they can make a real change in the lives of these children. After adopting Tyler and Mercedes, the couple starts adopting many more children, and they choose to give a home to those children who are usually avoided by everyone else. This includes children who have experienced extreme trauma in their pasts and are still affected by it, and also ones who are deemed to be too difficult to be parented by people without experience. During this time, the couple first learn about a teenage girl named Terry, who had been abused and sexually assaulted by her mother's boyfriend before being abandoned. As a result, Terry was a recluse who hardly ever communicated with any of the foster parents that she was assigned, and she even started to identify as a cat, which was a concerning development. All the other foster parents also gave up on the girl quite easily. After a few attempts to bond with her, they failed, and so Susan was in a constant search for a good foster home for her. Martin immediately wants to adopt Terry after learning about the incidents in her life and also her current situation, but Susan does not initially agree to it. She repeatedly states how the girl needs extra special treatment and care, but the Reverend is hell-bent on his demand. Eventually, he and Donna welcome Terry into their house and make her a part of the family, but they also start to experience obstacles in their path to becoming good foster parents. To begin with, some members of the community had some past experiences with adoption, which brought them a lot of pain and struggles in their lives, so they warned Donna about supporting the cause. Moreover, the struggles with foster parenting or adoption, which are mostly related to the child rejecting the strict side of their new parents, were very new to some couples in the community, and a few problems arose because of it. Martin and Donna personally struggled the most to understand the changing moods of Terry, whom they also took for regular counseling sessions. Despite their blind faith in God, the couple realized that Terry needed the help of modern science and medicine, and so they tried their best to heal her. However, certain incidents also created sudden moments of mistake, like when Terry got a bit jealous of LaDonna and was about to strike her when Donna stepped in and gave special treatment to her biological child. Although she later apologized about it, the incident ascertained Terry's childish suspicion that Donna and Martin were biased towards their biological children and did not care about the adopted ones. Another time, when she sneaked out of her room at night to meet a new boyfriend she had made, Martin caught her in the act and shamed her for her decision. Terry also kept a knife with her on her bed, mostly as an old habit, since she had had to protect herself from her mother's predatory boyfriend during the night, and she misjudged the Martins' concern about it. Because of these reasons, Martin and Donna struggle hard to make Terry a true part of the family, since the girl does not seem to accept them into her life. The situation becomes such that the adoption agency first wants to bring back Terry so that her situation does not get any more complicated at the Martins' household. The Reverend and Donna do not want to give up on the teenager, and they continue to provide shelter to her. However, when Terry defends her decision to keep a knife beside her bed and has a terrible argument with her foster parents, Donna breaks down and her frustration takes over. She blurts out to her husband that she does not want to keep foster kids and wants to raise only her biological children, but very quickly regrets her breakdown. Along with helping children in need, Donna also wanted to follow in the great footsteps of her mother, who had been completely selfless in raising her children. But her wish to abandon the project, which is clearly out of momentary frustration, and Donna does not mean the words, is clearly against Mirtha's principles. By the next morning, Donna apologizes to Martin, and the couple reunites, but their biggest obstacle arrives very soon afterward. When Terry goes to school that day, she is sexually abused by a classmate who is her new boyfriend, proving Reverend Martin's prejudices against romantic relationships at such a young age to be true. It is also to be noted here that Martin was immensely against women wearing whatever they wanted, and Sound of Hope mirrors the same opinion, for Terry is seen changing her clothes and appearance according to her taste right before the boyfriend harasses her. But then again, it is also to be remembered that the film was released under the banner of Angel Studios, which has been following such conservative beliefs. After this incident, Terry is even more distraught, and she feels that she cannot discuss the matter with anyone at home either. She drives away from the Martin house, much to the concern of the foster parents. Donna and the others in the community panic about where Terry has gone off to and what might have happened to her, with the most troubling fear that she might have attempted to take her own life. However, when Donna finds Terry, it is revealed that the girl actually takes a dip in a nearby lake and then lies down on the shore, waiting to be seen. Terry had earlier witnessed individuals getting their baptism at the lake, and she had learned from Donna that the act signified a new beginning for anyone. Tired, frustrated, and scared of all the incidents in her recent past, Terry now wants to have a fresh start in life, and she finally accepts the love of Donna and Martin in the end. In Sound of Hope's ending, we are also shown scenes from the community in 2024, where all the real people upon whom the characters were based in the film appear. Together, the residents of Possum Trot adopted 77 children, most of whom have grown into responsible adults now, and they stopped only when Susan's agency had no more children in dire need of a home. This ending surely adds a heartwarming touch to the whole narrative and makes the plot all the more relatable.